And we are live. Hi, everybody. How are you? How's everybody doing today? I know Jason was on here a few minutes ago because he said good morning to everybody. We'll give a couple of minutes to. How's everybody doing today? Oh,
I know Jason. We're echoing. I hate that.
A couple of minutes to. That's because I had it open in YouTube as well.
Oh, yeah, I do that too.
Kind of helps me sometimes because you can see some things in here that you can't see in YouTube and vice versa. So
I know.
I do want to just go through a couple of quick things to talk about. Not so much for you, but for the channel. Just to kind of remind people that today we're going to do kind of a conversation with Hyla. From if you haven't seen her channel, it's Crafty and Carnivore-ish. So she does a lot of. She also has another channel as well. I do have a link down there for her channel. Just go down there and check it out and click on it. I also have pinned it up in the comments as well. So there's Joanna Farrell. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Joanna.
So just kind of go down there, check out her channel, and we'll have a conversation. We'll find out more about her. Just kind of remind everybody as well too that we'll have some links down below. So go down there and check out those links. That would be really greatly appreciated. Just anything that you can do to support the channel is always helpful. So if you are going to buy something on Amazon, go down there and check out the Amazon links as well. So that's always helpful. It doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you anything else.
Yes, it doesn't cost you anything.
So it helps out the channels, no matter who channel it is. It's a great way to support your channels and help a lot. That's all right. We do have the 10% discount code for Keto Chow down there as well. I do have a new affiliate that I'm working with right now. I'm actually doing a video after this video on that one on Keto Bakes. So I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to make actually some lemon bread later today. A video on making some lemon bread with the Keto Bakes.
That sounds good.
Something different. So we're going to try that out and see how that goes. This month I think Hyla and myself are both on the same team on the step challenges. So we're both doing step challenges over at Derek's Journey. So go over there and check that out. We track steps for the month as teams, and we're broken into, I believe, about 8 to 10 teams. And each of the teams accumulates steps. Again, it's more just to help us get motivated, to get us out and get us moving than anything else. And then we can connect with other folks as well as support and help encourage other folks to get out and get moving, right? So that's kind of what's going on in the channel, what's going on, I guess some of the public announcement, the YouTube things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share out the videos as well. So hey, Jason, how are you?
Hey, Jason.
So Hyla, you've been doing YouTube a while.
Yes.
You do have another channel.
4 years.
So 4 years. So you're familiar with YouTube, and and now you started on this, and you're doing more of a carnivore-ish diet.
Yeah, I kind of, some days are more carnivore, some days probably a little bit more keto. I just kind of trying to be flexible now, not so strict.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing the
6 months.
6 months. So you're fairly new to it then still.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Plate River.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott. How are you? Scott was on Keto Chow the other day, so that was pretty cool.
That was.
That was awesome. So what kind of got you going and got you decided to go down this road of keto carnivore-ish?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what the first video I saw or what, but I've had stomach problems for years. And, I just keep getting diagnosed with different things and nothing would help. And I had my gallbladder removed 2 years ago, and I don't know. I just saw, you start seeing keto and keto and keto. And I don't know if something came across my feed one day. I honestly don't remember what started it, but I did find Dr. Berry at some point and just started binge watching his past live streams. And that's not like me. I don't like to watch old live streams. And I just was just focused on them and watched them over and over. And, I was like, just kept hearing people talking about healing the stomach problems and healing this and healing that. And diabetes runs in my family. So that's always been a concern of mine. And, I just thought, why not? Why not give it a try? But I was intimidated by keto, to be honest, because if you don't know anything about keto or carnivore or anything, and you're on Pinterest or you're on YouTube, you just keep hearing about macros and all this other stuff. And you are honestly like, it was intimidating. To me, it was. Because I'm like, I don't even know what a macro is. And then, like counting stuff, like that was just like, because, in the past when I've tried to lose weight, I've done the counting calories like most people have done. And that would last a week or two, maybe even a month, but then I would just get tired of it. So anything that had to do with counting anything, I was out. And he made it seem like so easy to do carnivore because you don't have to count anything. You don't have to really watch what you're eating. I mean, as long as you're eating meat, you're okay. And, eating when you're hungry and eating till you're full. And so that's why I started with carnivore, honestly. And, and I challenged myself to do it for 9 months, and I ended up going over 100 days. I see there's more people.
Yeah, Lindy's joined us. Hi, Lindy. How are you?
Hey, Lindy.
And Cottonwood Ranch has joined us as well.
Hello, Cottonwood Ranch.
So welcome everybody. So, I think Dr. Berry's kind of like taking over the world right now. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I was watching. I think it's Anna over at Keto Focus. She did a video on the past 2022 and all of the trends that kind of was happening in the keto space and how we kind of went from keto and everything. Everybody jumped on the protein sparing modifying bandwagon for a little while, and now everybody shifted from that over into carnivore and kind of shifting gears as it goes. And she's talked a little bit about what was the 2023 trend going to be and what's going to happen with keto. Yeah. It was actually a really, really good video, though. It was pretty interesting. And she's actually a pharmacist, so that's what she did before she went full time onto YouTube. So Will from up in Utah, he's joined us. Welcome. So again, Hyla's, I do have the link down there. I think it's pinned in the comments as well. So go down there and make sure you connect with her as we go through here. That would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you,
what's
Lindy.
Go ahead.
I saw Lindy. I wanted to say thank you for her chat there.
So she's saying that you're doing awesome. So so how in the first 6 months that you've been doing this, how successful have you been with it? Has it helped with I know it's kind of help with the other issues you've had, or?
Yes. Well, and there was a lot of other issues I was having that I didn't even think about it being diet related, like chronic headaches. I have a lot of sinus and allergy problems, which is what I've been dealing with the last couple of weeks. But it had gotten to a point where I was having a headache almost every day before I changed my diet. And I just thought it was sinus and allergy, some migraines, just that kind of stuff. But I was amazed at how fast that went away. I still get headaches. Like I had one this morning, but not every day and not usually more than once or twice a week if I'm having allergy problems. But I can go weeks now without a headache. And after having them almost daily, it's amazing. And then my stomach issues cleared up so quickly. I mean, just maybe a couple of weeks into the carnivore diet, my stomach issues were gone. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. After 20 years of, problems, it was it was crazy. It really is.
Huh. And it's still maintaining that to today. And
Yeah. Yeah. You know, if I have too much magnesium or something, you know, you can have some issues, but that's not, you know, like the problems that I was having before. And then I also have heartburn and acid reflux. And right before I started the diet, this was another push for me to do the diet. Was my doctor had just told me that she wanted me to start taking Nexium twice a day. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, this is ridiculous. And when I was on carnivore, I actually got off the medicine completely. I have been having to take it occasionally now, but I know that's a lot to do with like the caffeine that I have been ingesting lately. You know, I've been drinking coffee more. I've been drinking, sometimes I drink a Zevia with the cola Zevia, and then sometimes some chocolate. So I am getting more caffeine. So that's the reason for it. If I cut all that out, I'm fairly certain I wouldn't have any issues.
Yeah. Lindy was saying that she's kind of the same boat you were in with the headaches, and she's was getting a lot of them and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. They just kept getting worse and more frequent. And it was just amazing how quickly that helped. Like I said, I still have issues. It's not completely gone, but it's so much better.
Yeah. Now, you say you don't track macros or anything else at all.
Mm-mm.
So you're not using any kind of carb manager or Fitness Pal or.
No, that stuff stresses me out. I think it would deter me.
Okay. Well, that's a good. And how are you doing with the carnivore-ish side? Because that's the thing for me. I could do it for a week or two, but then I would get pretty tired of just eating meat all the time. So.
Yeah, well, I don't really miss vegetables. And I did notice something I noticed for years was when any vegetable, especially like a salad or something, I would get stomach, you know, my stomach issues would really get bad. So I've just been staying away from vegetables. I did have tomatoes twice, and I think it was in November, and I didn't have any issues with that. So, which I know that's not really a vegetable, but you know, so occasional tomato, and I may try some avocado again because I used to love avocados, but it's just going to be like little things like that I reintroduce. But yeah, I have some keto chow, so that's why I say I'm not carnivore, because I like to have some keto chow, and then occasional, you know, keto treat or something. So
Yeah.
but most of my meals are carnivore. I eat twice a day, and they're usually 95% of the time carnivore.
Now you fasting, so you have a eating window or per se?
Yeah, I mean, I don't fast the same amount every day. Like today, I think, I'm trying to remember, I think 1:30 will be like 18 hours. So I try to go for 18 hours, but you know, some days it's 15, some days it's 20.
Yeah.
And I try to stick with the 6-hour window of eating, but sometimes it's longer than that. Sometimes it's shorter than that. I'm not being like super strict about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of I'm kind of the same way. I'm doing the 18/6, but it's kind of, you know, I'm trying to eat at lunchtime, 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then again, you know, dinner at 5 or 6, and not eat again for the rest of the night. And that's trying that. So that's something fairly new to me.
Is it?
I haven't really done any of that before. I like to eat, and so me, it was just eating smaller keto meals throughout the day.
I used to eat like really frequent, very small meals all throughout the day because I thought that was healthy.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, after having your gallbladder, you cannot eat very much at a time. And so that really made it bad. You know, I was eating like 6, 7 times a day, just little bird amounts.
Yeah. And Driving London popped in. So, hey, how are you, Driving London?
Hello, Driving London.
So it's I used to go to London for work all the time, so I love London. London was a great place to go visit.
Oh, really? That's exciting.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of traveling for work. That was one of the things that. So it was a good job, but it was traveling after a while is not fun. So, but So do you take any supplements or anything like that, or are you just?
I do the daily minerals and, the electrolytes and magnesium drops, and then element electrolytes, but I'm not taking any supplements. I was taking a bunch of supplements before, and then collagen powder, but I actually just had some blood work drawn yesterday, and it shows that my vitamin D level it's not deficient, but it's insufficient, I think is what they called it.
Yeah.
So I do need to do something about that.
It means you got to go out in the sun a little more and
We haven't been really getting any. I apologize. I'm still allergy. So let me step off for just a second.
All right. No problem. So if you guys have questions or anything else like that, you would like to ask Hyla or myself, please feel free to do that. So, so Driving London says he's looking for some keto carnivore-ish inspiration. So
good.
there's some great channels here. So
yes.
Please connect with them, and I'm sure they'll connect back with you. Again, I know I have an email, and if somebody wants to talk something on personal or something like that, contact me through that email, and I'm more than willing to converse with you. And so that's kind of what we're doing. Again, I think most of us here, and like myself, we're not medical professionals, so we can kind of tell you what's working for us.
Mm-hmm.
Not that but we're not giving you medical advice. Just
right.
Everything's out there.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
and
true,
Jason's trying. Yeah, so and try to keep it. I guess for kind of, can you give me an idea of like what a basic day of eating for you would be, and kind of give somebody somebody that's new, like Driving London, basically how you eat for the day. What kind of food do you cook and prepare. I know most of us have watched your videos, I know, but there's a lot of hopefully be new people that will join you. So,
well, if you watch me at all, I love bacon. I have it almost every day. So my first meal usually involves bacon, but not every time. So maybe bacon and eggs, or I'll cook some hamburger patties with bacon, or maybe a steak, but usually it's hamburger patties and bacon, or bacon and eggs is usually my first meal. I'm pretty boring. I eat the same thing over and over a lot. And then, and then I'll wait 4 hours or something, like whenever I'm hungry again, and then maybe a steak, or maybe more hamburger patties, or, just whatever I've got, chicken wings. I try to keep a lot of stuff in the freezer. And then it's just kind of whatever the mood hits is what I what I make.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty major. I think I do eat because I'm more on the keto side than the carnivore side, but generally it's a protein, but usually I do eat a vegetable limited. I don't eat a ton of it. I'll eat like a half a cup of broccoli, or 3/4 of a cup of broccoli, or something like that. I don't measure it out either.
I used to eat a lot of broccoli too, but I've thought about bringing it back and trying, seeing what it does, like how it affects me, if it upsets my stomach or not. But and then sometimes I'll make like a pizza bowl or something like that if I'm feeling like something like that, or nachos, and I'll use bacon as the chips, or like the carnivore snacks, or carnivore crisps as the chips.
Yeah. Oh.
So you can change it up if you're feeling like you see somebody eating pizza. You can still make a pizza bowl. It's got a little bit more carbs and sugar in it because of the sauce, but I try to keep as limited sauce as I can.
Yeah. So now Driving London saying he's a little over 300 pounds and he's struggling, and you're not alone, I'll tell you that. So 40% of America's in that same boat as you. And I was there that long ago. Not 300 pounds, but I was overweight, and the doctor was telling me that I need to do something. And again, I'm kind of like you, Hailey. My mother was diabetic. I have a brother that's diabetic. Overweight and obesity has been a big problem in my family. so as long as I can remember. It still is. And even with my kids, it's that, it's kind of handed down that bad eating habit. So I don't know. I think probably, what kind of suggestions or pointers would you hand out for driving London?
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't start carnivore like cold turkey. I know some people do that with keto or carnivore, and I did not do that. I started, I think it was March, April. I just started slowly cutting out sugar and carbs, just very slowly. And I didn't lose any weight. I did it for like 2 months, 2.5 months. I think I lost a pound during that time. So don't like expect to lose a bunch of weight just doing that. But yeah, I just like, can I cut this carb? What carb can I cut out today? What sugar? Do I have to have this item, whatever it was? Do I have to have this piece of bread with this? No, I don't. So it just started out like that. And slowly I needed less and less carbs and sugar. And it got to a point where I was a big sugar addict and snack addict. And I want to say there at the end, like the last couple of weeks to get my sugar in, to get that snack desserty fix in, I would do heavy whipping cream. I'd mix it up and put a little bit of sugar-free Jell-O pudding in it to flavor it and give it a little sweetness. Not very much, just like the little barest amount. And that would give me just a hint of sweetness in that dessert. And I did that for a couple of weeks at least, 2 or 3 weeks. And then I didn't need it anymore. It was just like, that's what worked for me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden one day I was just full carnivore. Like I didn't plan it. It just happened naturally.
Yeah. Now for me, because my doctor advised me and told me to go out and kind of told me to do it, right? He said, go out, and he said, I would suggest you go on and do keto, which is pretty rare for a doctor to tell anybody, right? But he told me to do that. And he told me, he had been advising me, you need to do the Mediterranean diet. You need to do this. You need to do that. And then I've always struggled on any of those that I've done. I did Weight Watchers twice, and I was pretty successful with Weight Watchers. I actually got down to my goal weight, but it took me a year to get there. And then within a year, I gained it all back. And I've done that twice with Weight Watchers. So it works, but the trouble is when you get there, it's tough to maintain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was for me. The doctor told me to do it. I did some research, kind of like you. I spent a little bit of time and watched a bunch of videos. I did a lot of reading, and I looked more for what I would thought would good medical advice versus just YouTube, because YouTube can be it can be very spotty because people will contradict each other, and then I kind of decided what I was going to do, and I picked up a couple of channels that I thought were pretty trustworthy and had pretty good success on their channels, and so that's kind of where I started. And I actually do count, because I use Carb Manager. I don't use it. I kind of go through a period where I get that carb creep, and I'll start putting on a couple of pounds, and then I'll get back on it, and I'll do the Carb Manager just to understand what I'm eating and what's and then from there it seems to work itself out. And once I get used to it, I can kind of stop using it for a while. And and I've learned, I think over time you learn to substitute things. So like he was saying, bread is his downfall. Bread's my downfall as well. But I've learned to bake things that are pretty good substitutes for bread. The protein sparing modifying bread. I mean, it's virtually half a carb per serving. And it's really just egg whites. It's not bread, right?
It just it looks like bread.
It looks like bread. And to me, it's pretty close. I can toast it up and have it with bacon and eggs in the morning. And it's a pretty good substitute for me anyway. And calories are super, super low. Maybe you're counting calories. And then there's a bunch of other ones as well. And I'm not a big fan of I track total carbs as well. So I do 20 total carbs or less, or I try to. And on the weekends, I kind of loosen it up a little bit because I'm more in a maintenance mode. So I want to enjoy myself a little bit. I may tighten it up this month, but so maybe think about doing 20 total carbs for a while, see how that goes, see what cuts out, and see how that goes for you driving London, or try to go more on the carnivore side if you don't want to. I don't know, over in England, I'm not sure how the pricing is on the meats and all that stuff as well, but so
yeah.
So Derek's in the house now. So hey Derek, how are you? So again, if you guys are interested in some other fitness stuff as well, Derek's doing step challenges and stuff on a monthly, every other month. I think he's doing it right now. Has been for a while. I've been doing it with him for, I would say, pretty close to a year now. Every other month. So
this is my first time.
Derek, yeah, we've been connected for a while. So it's a great thing to, like I say, get into teams and get motivated, get going, get moving. Great conversations as well. Let's see, Matt is in the house. So so if you haven't connected with Matt before, connect with Matt. Check him out. It's kind of an interesting combination with keto and wrestling. So
I'm not going to wrestle, but I'll check that channel out.
And Matt was one of the ones that told me, hey, you want to grow your channel, you got to start doing some shorts, and you got to start putting some shorts out. So he was one of the ones that really helped me start growing my channel a lot better, a lot more by putting those shorts out. So I'm really appreciative of Matt. So he's been good. So let's see who else is in here. Okay. Lindy's back. She says, let's see. Jason said, I had a cheat meal last night, 2 pounds of wings and butter, hot sauce. But is that really a cheat meal? So again, even though I'm counting carbs, the macros are nice, but I'm not really worried about hitting my macros. So, so if that's a concern, I don't know. And if you're doing carnivore, you don't have to worry about that at all, right?
Right. But since I'm not completely carnivore anymore, I'm trying to be careful and not go crazy.
Yeah. It's really easy to overeat. So, and that's what the issue for me with like the keto breads is, when you look at them, the total carbs on them are like 10 or 15. And I said, wow, that's, half of my, total carbs. And that's half of my carbs for the day. And again, in total carbs, you can kind of keep a pretty good track in your head. You don't really have to count them or anything else either. But hopefully everybody that's on here that, so Lindy's a part of our step challenge as well. So so there's like 3 or 4 of us that are on here, this chat, that are part of our team, which is nice.
Yes.
And pretty supportive. Lindy's always been pretty supportive. She's been on the channel before. So she's been here, and she's been a really huge supporter of the channel. So I appreciate that as well. So I think she's a supporter of yours as well, and on your channel quite a bit.
Yes.
So some of the other things so fitness, let's talk a little bit about the fitness side of it. Just talk a little bit about steps. Now, do you do any kind of working out or any kind of exercising, or?
I've just been focusing on steps right now. We do have some like 2-pound weights, and I've done those a little bit. But at the beginning, I wasn't doing anything. I go through spurts throughout the year. Like I'll be walking and sometimes even jogging really regularly. And then all of a sudden I'll just quit, and I'll go like weeks or months without doing anything. And then I'll start up again. So that's it's just something I've always done. And so right now I'm really trying to focus on getting steps in at least. And I've thought about doing that DDPY yoga, but I haven't decided yet on that yet.
Now, do you do anything other? Like I know Lindy's doing that. It's a 75 hard or.
Mm-mm.
All right. Yeah. So again, Jason was saying that's his kind of a cheat meal, but he hasn't had a cheat meal in over 4 years. I can't say that. So.
Wow.
My issue is that when you go out to dinner, sometimes you don't really quite know what you're getting. And I know I've even gone, and just before the holidays, we went out for breakfast and had an omelet. And I was wearing at that time. I was wearing that. Yeah, you don't know what they're putting in that omelet. There, you know, you're assuming. And I asked them. I said, "Are you only putting eggs in here and nothing else?" And they said, "No, it's just eggs, just eggs." And I was wearing at the time. I was wearing a continuous glucose monitor, and it spiked that thing up like crazy.
Yeah, they didn't know.
So yeah, they didn't know. It was just a waiter trying to make me happy so that I would buy whatever.
Yeah.
So, and that's one thing about eating out. You can always order a steak, right? Almost everywhere you go, you can order a steak.
Well, and I did that, and I had an issue. I think there was some kind of oil on it because it upset my stomach. It tasted good, but then it upset my stomach later.
Yeah, so you got to be careful then, huh?
Mm-hmm. I think that was a salt grass too, if I remember right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually a pretty good place. So you have to ask them if they're putting seasoning or something on it, and if they can just.
I know.
Do it. So,
I could taste something on it. I didn't know what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was some kind of oil.
Yeah. No. And then Lindy was actually saying she was about 175 pounds when she started. I know she's down around that 200-pound mark right now. Hey, Frugal Mama came on. Hey, how are you, Frugal Mama? Shelly King came on. So, my Google's asking me. So, hey, Shelly. I don't know what Shelly, you triggered my my Google.
That's funny.
I'm not sure what's going on with your name. Yeah, so I got a list of other questions here. So, well, you kind of answered a lot of them, but so let's talk a little bit about YouTube in general itself.
Okay.
So, kind of a couple of questions. So, so now you're trying to grow your channel. Now you want to talk about your other channel and maybe give people the maybe they'd like to go over and check out your other channel as well.
Sure.
So you can talk a little bit about it.
It's called H. Cooper Crafty Bug. Don't ask me why I named it that. But it's H. Cooper / Crafty Bug. But I think if you just type in at H. Cooper Crafty Bug, you'll get it. But it's a crafting channel, of course. And mainly I focus on homecoming moms. And I know a lot of people aren't going to know what that is because it's mainly a Texas thing. But I do a lot of other crafts too. And I've been doing that for 4 years. And I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers on that channel.
Yeah, so go over there and check her channel out. Also, are you on Etsy?
Yes, I have an Etsy shop where I sell some of that stuff. Yes. And take custom orders.
So go over there and check that out as well. So that would, I'm sure it would make her happy. She's not busy enough. She's gonna, you know. Oh.
I know. When I started the second channel, I was like, what am I thinking?
Yeah. I thought about doing a second channel. And I said, no, it's the first channel is more than I can handle now. So
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. No. And just kind of a couple quick, kind of interesting things. So do you get some really strange comments on either one of your channels?
Oh my gosh, yes. All the time. All the time. More on this channel. I get more nasty remarks on my crafting channel, if you can believe it. And
Really?
then on this one, I just get like funny. And then, you know, some people are nasty too about what you're eating, but mostly it's like misinformation on this channel. But yeah, you get some really nasty people. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. So how do you handle those folks if you?
I used to answer them because I felt like I needed to, but most of the time I just block them from my channel. You know, just hide them from your channel. Sometimes I'll report them if it's really nasty. I'll report them for bullying, and that'll wipe them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten a little bit of that. Not a lot of that though. It's just a little bit.
People like to tell you what you're doing wrong. Whether they don't like the lighting, they don't like the angle, they don't like that you're not telling them what they want to hear.
Uh,
And I'm thinking this can all go for like diet wise too, that you're not giving them
yeah,
what they want,
yeah,
and they'll take it out on you.
yeah, yeah. I don't mind somebody so much telling me that I'm doing something wrong, because I probably am, and I know I am. So, if
It's a
somebody can
learning
give me
experience.
pointers or help, but they're good about it, then great, because I will check it out and I will do some research on it, and I will, but again, I'm also kind of I'm the guy that's always skeptical. So even when Dr. Barry tells me something, I'm gonna check it out on my own, because he's
That's
just one
good.
person. So don't believe everything you hear. That's my dad always said.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Don't believe anything you hear, and only 50% of what you read. And then do your own checking out and stuff like that. So some other folks are talking about checking out they're going to check out your Ipsy store.
Oh, thank you.
And
That is
Jason
good,
said
Jason.
he's been lucky enough that he hasn't had bad comments, and so and it is. I haven't really had a lot. I've had some weird comments.
Mm-hmm. Is it more on
some,
the shorts that you notice the funny comments, like the weird ones?
yeah,
Yeah, that's me
yeah,
too.
short. Yeah, but most of them are people that are not. I'm not going to say either not keto or don't have no clue of what it is, and or are vegan or something, and they're commenting about
Oh yeah, the vegans.
the meat I'm cooking, or
Yeah.
I would like to say that, because most of the shorts I put out are from my full length videos, and it's surprising, because I get people that will ask me for a recipe or something, and if they click on the link, it will actually
Yeah,
take
it'll
them
take them to it.
full length. But I don't think people realize that, and I don't think, because it's fairly new to YouTube. I'm going to say in the
Yeah.
last couple of months, but so I've actually started putting in a description to say click on the link below to see the full length video, just to see that. Now it'd be interesting to see what Matt gets for comments, just because Matt does that wrestling, and I would imagine it's there's a lot of controversy, just because there's a lot of controversy in that space in general, because one guy likes another guy and they're all pitted against each other. And,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I had a funny one the other day, but now I can't find it. Oh, I mean, they're just silly. So I'll read the last couple of ones I got on a short. I always put on my shorts, when it's a food, I put proper human diet, day whatever. Because I used to put carnivore, now I put proper human diet. So this guy says, nope, proper human diet is mostly unprocessed carbs with no meat. Also, enjoy your gout, is what he says.
Yeah.
So I did respond to that one.
Yeah.
And I disagreed with him, and then I told him to enjoy, and I listed a whole bunch of issues that he can probably have from his diet. He didn't respond. They don't. If you respond to them with such a manner, like, okay, go check out this channel, like go check out Dr. Barry, or here's a list of, health issues you're going to have, they never respond to that.
Yeah.
And then one where I showed eating 2 hamburger patties, this guy, did bro eat 2 hamburger patties? Well, I don't think I'm a bro, but
Yeah.
I mean, they're just silly like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a few of them too. And some
of them
not
just
so much
make me
nasty
laugh.
ones, just kind of some really strange comments too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Hey, so Tom Garvey's in the house. So, hey, Tom, how are you? Another one. Tom's doesn't do a lot of baking or anything else. He does a lot of just general cooking as well. So, another great information. So,
he loves the haters, he says.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going to find them no matter what. So, I think the biggest thing is to try not to learn to take them personal.
Yeah.
You got to kind of take it with a grain of salt. If you take it too personal, and it can really can beat you up. And so if you're a person that kind of stuff really bothers you, it's hard to deal with it. So I had to laugh because Steve from Serious Keto took 2 or 3 weeks off or a month off because of the fact he said there were so many bad comments that he was getting in that it was getting in his head. And now you're talking about a guy that's got 250,000 followers. And
can you imagine the comments he gets?
Yeah, I can't. Everybody's going to be on him, and because he's all over the place. But yeah, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, Jonna, that was really funny.
Yeah. Now your channel is actually doing pretty well considering it's new.
Yeah, I think so too.
Are you planning on getting to that monetization level this year?
I hope so.
Is that your goal?
I have a lot of hours to get, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But I need to upload more videos, more lives, and because there for a while it was just like a bunch of shorts. So that's where I got all the subscribers from, but you don't get the hours from that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of subscribers from the shorts as well, but yeah. And I said if you watch, I don't know if you watched Think Media or any of those channels, and he kind of talked about the trend is changing on YouTube, and one of the things he says in 2023, he says people don't want to watch your intros. If you have an intro, you're chasing people away from your channel.
That's why I quit doing intros on my crafting channel. I used to do an intro and used to, put the like, share, subscribe, all this stuff. Now I just get right into what I'm doing.
Yeah. He's saying that because people's attention span has shortened so much that if you do that, they're going to click off your channel as soon as you start doing it. That was what he was talking about that the other day in the trends for 2023 in YouTube and stuff like that.
And I hate it. I've always hated it when you click on someone's channel, especially if you're trying to learn how to make something or fix something, and you get their video, let's say their video is 20 minutes long, you get 10 minutes in it and they're still just talking. They're still talking about themselves and their channel, and they're not telling you anything about what the video is supposed to be about. I mean, I've seen some where it's like halfway through the video before they even start discussing what you came on to watch, and I'll go out and go somewhere else. And if I'm going to be like that, then I know I don't want people to deal with that. So I try to just get right into it. And I've had a lot of compliments on that. Like, thank you for not wasting my time. Thank you for just getting right in it and showing me what I want to see.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just kind of interesting watching some of that stuff so as well. So, yeah. And then, I don't know, I know you set some goals. I haven't done a video on my goals for 2023 yet. Kind of discussed them a little bit in the live before the holidays, but really haven't sat down. I'm going to do that probably next week on my live next week. I don't know. You want to talk a little bit about your goals for 2023
I'm kind of the same way. Like, I have like goals for my channel and then goals for me. Like right now, I'm just like still trying to figure out what works well for me, because after going off even before I went off full carnivore, I really haven't been losing any weight since the first couple of months. And I mean, I had my thyroid and everything checked yesterday too, so to see if that's an issue, but it's just been fluctuating. So I'm still trying to figure out what's working for me, and I'm just trying to be patient and not get frustrated with it. And then also I want to make sure that I'm exercising regularly, even if it's just walking. I want to get those steps in every day. So I don't want to go back to like quitting. And I will say that in the fall, which is my busiest time, because that's when homecoming is, and so that's a really busy time for me. That's when I always fall off the wagon of exercising, and that's when I eat the worst, and that's when I have the most stress. And so I even gain weight even if I'm not eating really badly. Like this past fall, I was dealing with a lot of, weight gain, not a lot of weight gain, but I was, instead of losing, I was gaining, and I was eating zero chocolate like it was going out of style because I just stressed out because I was so busy. So I need to hopefully find better options for the stress. And I want to try to make myself still exercise regularly, because I think that'll help with the stress too.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I found that, and I did for a while there. I was taking the magnesium before I went to bed, and it's trying to help me with my sleeping patterns and stuff, because and I know Tom and I have talked about it before, where when I wake up in the middle of the night, like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I have a really hard time going back to sleep. So, and it's interestingly enough, because since I've started actually hitting with the weights and stuff, I've actually slept a lot better. I tried the Perfect Keto sleep collagen that they had.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't help me at all. And then I tried taking the magnesium just before I went to bed. That actually did help a little bit. Not where I wanted it to be. And then I tried some other things too as well. But I found that just the exercise this past month has actually helped me a lot, especially when I'm starting hitting the weights a lot more and stuff. And now I did fall off during the holidays. We went on a trip and everything else, and so or all that, and I did gain a couple of pounds. So now I gotta lose that, plus my new targets for 2023. Matt did mention, and it's true, that he got 10 million views on his shorts in 90 days. And then the shorts do get monetized in February. YouTube is actually trying to compete very hard with TikTok. So I think they're changing a bunch of the shorts around to try to get people more shorts. I know Think Media also do.
Oh, sorry. They're also doing super thanks on shorts now too. Like I have that on my other channel. Any of my shorts you'll see in it, but it's really tiny. Like I don't even know how people would see it. But like when you make a short out of your video, and where they can click to link to it, right above that, there's a little bitty thing that says super thanks on there.
Yeah, I think they're trying to compete with TikTok and even Instagram and Facebook. The Reels have kind of blown up and gotten really popular and really big as well. So, but and Derek's just confirming it. So then Jason's, it's made a lot harder for smaller channels to get shorts where you hit your 10 million is almost impossible. But now shorts you still need to get monetized. And I guess if you're just a shorts channel, there's a different requirement than you are if you're doing long form video. So let's see. So how about other goals? So what are you doing for your channel, for your goals, for your channels?
My goals are, to get monetized this year. So even if it's December 31st, I'm hoping. So definitely I'm, thinking about, I need to get on a schedule with live streams and, put out regular videos and just get on a good schedule and get those hours in.
Yeah. Now, what about personal weight goals and/or health goals, or do you want to discuss any of those or no? I don't know if they're.
I'm not doing I want to be at this certain weight or anything like that. I'm not going to do that to myself, because if I don't reach it, then I'll get really frustrated, and that'll just, I don't want to do that to myself. So like I said, I'm just trying to figure out what works for me still. And I'm sure that'll change too. Like I'm sure what's working now won't work for me 6 months from now. So I've already changed my diet up a couple of times. So I just, I don't want to gain, and I would like to lose some more, but I'm not going to freak out over it.
Yeah. I think one of the things I've been doing this I've been doing it over 5 years now. And one of the things I do find is that your body kind of gets used to, and talking about the comment that's on here right now about the stalling and having lost in November, December, your body, I think, kind of gets used to what you're doing, and you got to kind of do some confusion for a short period of time to change it up. So at least then that's my opinion. I don't know.
I've heard that before.
So,
So, I mean, I've even thought about, I don't want to do BB&E. That just triple B&E.
no,
It just doesn't sound appealing to me, but maybe for like a couple of days or 3 days or something,
yeah,
just to do something different. I don't know. I'll think about, something like that.
yeah. But if you again, says it right, it's a win, right? So if you're not gaining and you're not losing,
Yeah.
it's still a win because you still got there and you're maintaining, right? And I will tell you, maintaining is pretty hard. So,
Well, something weird I noticed. Well, I thought it was weird, but being sick, I've gained weight, and it's not because I'm overeating or anything. It's just I don't know if it's like inflammation. That's what I'm guessing. But I
yeah.
just thought that was so strange to gain weight while you're sick. But it's
So,
been almost 2 weeks now.
yeah. So Gavin's on here from Smitty's Fitness. So go check Gavin out if you haven't. He's over in the UK and
Oh wow.
he's I would think it's pretty well. It must be in the evening there. So, but yeah, he's got a great channel. He's really grown as well. So him and Gavin and I have been connected for a long time. He's actually part of the Step Challenge as well, or
Oh really?
Derek's Step Challenge as well. He gets a lot of steps in.
Does he?
He's doing a lot of classes, fitness classes as well, and that helps him a lot. And he's on a journey right now. He's actually doing a photo shoot coming up, so he's on a journey to get in shape for that fitness, folks. So.
Well, I'll tell you, last spring I was getting 15 to 20,000 steps a day, and now I'm barely getting my 10,000.
Yeah. So he's saying he put on a little bit of weight as well during the holidays. So so my goal is to get back down there. I actually have a goal where I want to drop a couple more pounds. It's more body fat. So I want to get down a little lower in my body fat than where I am today. So I will say there's some really weird thing that has happened to me since I've lost all the weight I have. Is I had an issue and my wedding ring became really, really loose and I actually lost it. So
Oh
it actually
really?
fell off somewhere and I couldn't find it. I was doing something at work and
Oh
and I
no.
hunted and I've had everybody in the world looking for it and nobody's been able to find it. So now I'm going to have to go out and buy a new wedding ring. So
That's crazy. Well, I've
and it
noticed
was
mine has gotten looser. Like especially if I wash my hands, I'm really careful about it falling off. But what's funny is I've been married since I'm 19 and it's the same size ring. Now all of a sudden, I've always had small fingers, and now all of a sudden it's loose. Like it's not really loose today, but a lot of times it's like almost falling off, which I thought was strange.
yeah.
Especially since
Yeah.
I was like 115 pounds when I got married.
Oh, yeah.
I'm obviously not that. So it's really strange. So I don't know if it's like, like inflammation going down or something like that. I don't know. I think that's
Yeah,
really
maybe.
strange.
And I kept telling my wife, and I said, and it was my own fault because I kept telling her, I said, it's really loose. I got to go get it resized. I got to get it resized. So
Mhm.
it's my own fault. So I have nobody to blame but myself. There's this thing in the back of my head that always says, keep some of the clothes are when you're big because you're going to get there again, or hey, you're going to gain the weight
Yes.
again. So don't get
Yes.
those. Like resize a ring small, and then I'm going to have to get it resized later again. And
Yes.
there's some little guy in the back of me is always telling me that.
Right there, telling you.
Yeah. So, and then a couple folks chatting on here. So I'm getting way behind on the comments here. So you guys have comments or you have any anything you'd like to ask us or anything else? Feel free to do so. Google Mama's still on here. So she's actually part of the Step Challenge as well. So go over there and check out. She actually does workouts in the morning, and then she does some other things on her channel as well. So
I just can't get up that early and watch that.
yeah, that's
yet.
really. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning for me. So here in the West Coast. That's one thing about being on the West Coast. I feel like I miss a lot of stuff. Like a lot of the live streams are,
Yeah.
for me, they're at 3 o'clock my time. Like, Ready Set Keto, they do theirs at 3 o'clock, and there's some other Michelle's from Life Adventures in Keto. she does hers like at 4 o'clock. And for me, I'm still at work at that time. So, you know,
yeah.
But and then Gavin, he's putting his out, and he's coming out like at 10 o'clock at night my time. So that's because he's over in the UK. And sometimes it's really weird being on the West Coast. It has its advantages too, because like on Monday Night Football, it's on so early here that it gets over with at 9 o'clock versus being on the East Coast, and it gets over at 1 o'clock. You know.
Ooh, yeah. Luckily, we're in the middle.
Yeah, you're kind of in the middle. So Smitty's saying, I know Gavin's wife was doing keto. I don't know whether she's still doing keto. So he's saying, I got to do keto 4 days before the shoot. So my carbs were down slow and each protein nice and high. So again, I was actually watching Tom DeLauer, and he was actually talking about getting his body fat down, and he generally keeps his body pretty well because he does it. He has to do it because it's his life and it's his business. So he has to keep his body fat pretty low. So and he talks about cutting out all the carbs and stuff, especially just before he's doing anything fitness shoots for commercials or anything else that he's doing and supporting. So. And he's actually got his studio is in the town next to us. So he's over here in Thousand Oaks is where his studio used to be. I don't know if it's still there or not. I know he moved upstate a little bit. So he wanted more land where he has horses and stuff like that, I guess. So Lindy's talking about, I'm assuming she's talking about sleep. So yeah. So she's using a little bit of that CBD. I've never used it. I'm not a big fan. I'm not sure. I'm very cautious about it. So, like I said, I think I found that the HIIT fitness has been helping a lot. And this month I am going to track my sleep again. So that's one of the things I am going to do. I'm going to track my weight a little differently. I am tracking my food this month a little differently. And, I'm going to track my sleep and as well as tracking the step. I know it's a lot of tracking, but I don't do it every month. So I just kind of want to do it this way because I want to kind of assess where I'm at and where I'm going with it. And like I said, I do plan on doing a video on my 2023 goals. I'm not going to be, I don't think they're terrible. I know. I'm also going to talk a little. I think I'm going to do a 2022 because last year we went to Vegas for this year for New Year's. We went to Vegas last year for New Year's because Vegas is a 5-hour drive from here, so it's not far. And last year when we came back from Vegas, my wife and I both had COVID, so so we didn't start 2022 off very good.
No, you didn't.
So this year was better. We came back and we're both healthy and we're both.
That's good.
So Athena's here from Seattle Sapphire, another big supporter of the channel. She has a nice channel as well. Go over there and check her channel out. Let's see who else is there. Ron has changed the name of his channel, so now it's Ron's Keto Cafe. So I actually like that name. So
I do
Ron,
too.
I think it's a good name. I think it's a good fit, and so hopefully it's more successful as well. So so Athena's coming in late. So she was here in California. Athena was here in California. I really wanted to meet up with her, and I didn't get the chance to do this. So I'm really hoping at some point in time we do get to meet up as well. So I'd love to meet subscribers and, one-on-one. And, we had talked about going possibly to one of the keto conventions this year. And I'm not sure if anybody else is going to one. I know you have one in Texas.
Right. It's still a good ways away, though.
Yeah. Is it? Austin?
Yeah.
All right. So we kind of had talked about that. And for me, if I go to Austin, I can probably spend, some time visiting my brother in San Antonio, then drive up to it and then, then back down again or something like that.
Yeah. I don't think it's that far from San Antonio.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 hours, I guess. So
Yeah.
So it's really doable, or possibly we had talked about maybe September is the one in Vegas.
Mhm.
So again, that's for us as a drive, but that starts like on a Wednesday to Saturday. So
Let me get off here real quick.
all right. So it'd be interesting. So is anybody else going to any of the keto conventions this year? I know Athena, you go to the one in Austin, Texas. Oh. So everybody's saying, Ron, they like the name. Athena saying hi. Yeah, much easier name for people to remember, and it sounds much more relaxed and kind of sitting down and chatting and all that stuff. So, all right. Today's steps would count for Sunday until somebody's asking about the steps. So, yeah, so I turned mine in. So Ron, just so what I do is because I'm on the West Coast, so for me to count Friday and then turn them in Saturday morning, and it means that I would have to get up really early Saturday morning to do that, just because at 10 o'clock Derek's time is 7 o'clock my time. So by the time I get up, wake up, and get situated, it would probably be closer to 1 o'clock Derek's time. So I turn them in Friday night. So I sent mine to my captain of our coaches, and Christy, and I sent her the email this morning. Or actually, I sent it last night. So I do mine from Friday to Thursday, and that way I'm done Thursday and Saturday. Friday I can total my hours for the week, and then I can send them in on Friday afternoon, and it makes it easier for me anyway. So that's what I do. So Athena's saying that she's going to be at this show in KetoCon. Now, Lindy, you went to a couple different shows before. You've been to the one in Vegas. You've been to the one in Austin. I don't know if you've been to any of the others, but I'd like to go just because I think it'd be interesting to go or anything else. So, but all right, let me get caught up on some of these comments. Derek, the results come out. So Lindy's asking, and I think they come out generally on Sunday, don't they, Derek? And he's answering the questions. So he's talking about later in the fall. Yeah. For me, like I say, Vegas is only a 5-hour car drive. We go over a couple times a year. So it's a nice ride from here through the desert, and hopefully you don't hit traffic. My big thing is coming back. You hit traffic right on the Nevada, believe it or not, in the Nevada-California line. In Nevada, they have a 4-lane highway, and as soon as it hits California, it goes down to 2 lanes, and it like bottlenecks there all the time. Just crazy. I don't understand why California just can't build a 4-lane highway all the way. It's so busy up through there. So, let's see, everybody. There's a lot of people talking about that. Yeah, I'm not sure there's one in New York. I don't think there is. I know there's like one in Connecticut. There's a low carb convention in Connecticut. Not sure about Boston or anywhere else either. So there's another one, one other one in Kentucky, that Keto Palooza in Kentucky. There's a few of them. I know there's one in Florida. There's one in Omaha, and different ones. I know there's a cruise on one too as well. They have one. So I'm not sure why Gavin thinks you're nasty. I must have taken a lot of steps or something like that. So So, all right. So Hyla had to get off here. She's got something else going on at the house. She had told me that she probably had to drop off early even before. I'm surprised she's stuck around as long as she has. So, yeah, I think we're going to try. We had talked about, my wife and I had talked about this week when we were in Vegas. We had talked about going back for the show. Just, it was kind of weird, Vegas, because the Vegas shows were like, they did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It was a 4-day show. Goody Beats is the host for the show there, which I really like. Goody Beats. I kind of, if you haven't watched Goody before, he's pretty impressive to watch. He started his own company, that Bio Coach and all that stuff. He's also an amateur bodybuilder, and but he's a big keto, low carb guy. And he talks about how he does his cuts, and he does a keto cut every year in the summertime. And so he's pretty impressive to watch. He used to live out in California here. Now he's living out in Austin, Texas. So Derek's saying he has a video coming out. So if you want to see how the teams are doing and who the teams are, and all that good stuff, go out there and check out his video that comes out on Sunday. And Ron made some chicken breasts, lasagna today. I'm actually going to, so again, I have a new affiliate that I'm dealing with right now. I'm going to try out. They sent me some products to try out. So I'm going to try them out and decide where we go with this. So I'm going to actually make some lemon bread today out of their package. You know, I'll show you the package. So this is the company. Show it up here. Keto Bakes. So this is a iced lemon loaf keto bake mix. So basically what it is you have to, so it's all the flour and all of the sugar, sweetener, I should say, no sugar in it. And all you're doing is you're going to add a little bit of butter and some eggs and some cream cheese into it with a mix, and then just bake it. And that's all there is to it. And then it has a packet for icing inside of here as well, so that you can put the icing on the top of it. So I'm interested. I want to try it. They sent me 4 different ones. So I'm going to do a couple of review videos on these. I don't know. I'd be interested. Anybody else has tried any of these? Let me know. And Athena. So I know that you're another one of those folks that can't have keto chow because of the milk protein in them. But keto chow now has 2 chocolate flavors that are made with beef protein and have no milk solids or milk proteins in them at all. They're just beef proteins. So, which is really interesting. I haven't tried them yet, so I'll be doing a review on those too. They sent me some of those to try. I don't know if anybody else has tried those. So I've already kind of talked a little bit about the conventions. If I go to any, it would be the Louisville one. So it's close enough to drive. So now, Jason, you're in Canada, right? I believe so. That's still a pretty good drive. I'm surprised there's not something like up in Detroit or Chicago or up in Boston that would be closer for you. But I don't know of all the conventions or anything else. The one in Vegas was fun, but I'm going to KetoCon in Louisville again. So she's going to those too. So. She's going to try to hit all the keto conventions, try to get out and get motivated, huh? Hey, Joe is here from the Weightlifting Geek. So how's everybody doing over there? He's saying, doing good. So, okay. So it's an 8-hour drive for Jason to get down to Louisville, Kentucky. So it will be a good, that always looks like it's fun because it's a smaller, kind of a more of a, so Ron, you're from North Central Massachusetts. So my daughter lives in Springfield, and I grew up in Connecticut. So I spent a lot of time up in Massachusetts in that area, and Maine. Most of my family is from Maine. most of my cousins and stuff. And my parents are both from Maine, and so my grandfather and all that stuff. So, but yeah. All right. So if you're interested, go over there and check out that keto chow. Like I said, that new keto chow, and it's actually called Core. They changed the name on it a little bit, and it's made, and they only have the 2 chocolate flavors. One is with a sweetener, and one doesn't have any sweetener at all, so you can add whatever you want into it. So it's so it's something different they were trying. So like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try to do some baking with it. I'm also going to try them just as a shake too, and just try them out. I may take the one that's without the sweetener, put a little allulose into it or something like that, and try it and see what it tastes like, and do a little review of it. And I'll probably do that in one of the day of eating videos. So Ron's just living just outside of Worcester. Is it Worcester or is it Worcester? They don't have any keto conventions in the UK. Maybe in a year or two. They're actually growing all over the place. There's more and more of them all the time. I know they have one here in San Diego too. They have one in Santa Barbara. They call them something else. They're not calling them low carb or keto conventions. They're more, they call them metabolic symposiums or something like that. And they're more for medical professionals, but people can go to them. So it's really open for you. So check those metabolic conventions, metabolic symposiums out as well. If you'd like to go to them, like I say, I know they have one in San Diego. I know they have one in Santa Barbara. I'm not sure where else they have it. And again, there are a lot of nurses and doctors and medical professionals that go to those type of things. So you may want to check those out. And a lot of that is based around the low carb world and what's going on with the low carb world. But it's good that they're doing that and getting more medical folks inside of it and involved with it as well. So, hey, I've been on here for almost an hour and 15 minutes. I think it's almost time for me to go to bed. Oh, so King Arthur now has a keto flour blend. I'm thinking of trying it. So I'd be really interested in looking at the ingredients on it. So I'm very cautious about flours because they do the whole fiber thing. And I actually bought some, trying to think what it is. Some oat fiber to put in some baking stuff to see how it tastes. And I'm really leery about it because it's really high in carbs, but it's really high in fiber. So they minus the fiber from the carbs, and they kind of say, oh, well, it's low carb now. And I'm a little bit nervous about them. So I'd like to kind of play around with them. I'd be interested, Ron, when you try it out and see how it affects you. Does it affect you? Because I think I would like to do it and kind of test it and with a blood glucose monitor and see whether it spikes my sugar or not, and see how that does it. So, but all right. So Lindy's heading out as well. She's got to go run some stuff. So again, hopefully everybody will check everybody other's channel out. Go over there. I know Joe came in late, and but Derek and Driving London. If you're over there, check each other's channel out. Driving London, I'm going to check your channel out as soon as you can. Hey, if you want, comment after the live, because I know you can't do it now, but after the live, if you comment in the comments section after the live, it makes it easier for people to go back and find you and check your channel out. So go down there and do that as well. So, hey, and then go down there and check out this new Keto Bakes, the link down there, and tell me what you think. Also, check out the new keto chow that was made with the beef protein versus the milk protein. So, They say they were getting a lot of comments about it. So, hey, I'm going to go as well. It's time for me to just about time for me to get some lunch / breakfast and break my fast for the day. I want to get a cup of coffee. So, all right. You guys have an awesome, awesome day. All right. Shelly's saying that she's going to the Louisville meetup as well. It's the favorite meetup. It's so much fun. So it looks like a lot of fun because it looks more personal, more friendly type of a thing. So, hey, but with that said, I'm going to go. You guys have an awesome, awesome day. I will be doing this next Saturday as well. If you would like to do another collab or do a collab again, let me know down in the comments or shoot me an email. And I would love to do more. I like having these things. Hylia was great. Hyla was great. Go over there and check her channel out as well. Like I said, it's pinned up in the comments. It was great. So, all right. You guys have an awesome, awesome day. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you soon.